Some people are not confused because you changed. They are confused because you refuse to stay small enough for their understanding. That right there is the truth that keeps rattling around in the minds of everyone watching you level up. Because lately, the way you move, the way you grow, the way you show up in places you were never supposed to enter, it has got people whispering like you are some walking glitch in their reality. You have been accomplishing things at a pace that does not match their memory of you, and their minds simply cannot compute it. So instead of upgrading their perspective, they have invented this hilarious theory that there must be multiple versions of you roaming around, tag-teaming your life like a group project. And honestly, it is funny because it is not far from what they are truly thinking. They are low-key convinced you have got a clone, a twin, a cosmic backup dancer, anything that will help them avoid the uncomfortable truth that one determined human can actually evolve this fast. There is a scientific fact that the human brain naturally fills gaps with assumptions when it cannot understand something. And trust me, your growth has created more gaps in their understanding than their school textbooks ever did. They cannot wrap their minds around your speed, your recovery, your strength, your creativity, your silence, your strategy. So they fill the gap with a fantasy version of reality where you are basically an entire team disguised as one person. Meanwhile, you are just living your life, minding your business, drinking your water, upgrading your soul like it is software, and confusing people without even trying. The funniest part is that you are not even doing anything outrageous. You are just doing the work they said they would do one day. You are just becoming the version of yourself they never believed you would reach. And to them, that is suspicious. That is too sudden, too polished, too unpredictable, too much for one person. So now, here we are. You have become a whole mystery case, a walking plot twist, the unexpected character development they did not see coming. Your evolution is so dramatic, so undeniable, so beyond the limits of their imagination that the only explanation they can come up with is there has to be more than one of them. Let us break down exactly why they think you are a whole franchise. Number one, they think there are multiple versions of you because they only know one version of themselves. People who have not evolved past their first layer of identity truly believe everyone else operates the same way they do. They only understand life through a single emotional lens, a single thought pattern, a single survival style. So when they meet someone like you, someone who can shift gears mentally, emotionally, and spiritually without losing themselves, they automatically assume you cannot be just one person. They have never met someone who can grow in one area without collapsing in another. They have never seen someone change without falling apart. They have never seen someone expand without needing a whole new personality to match it. That is why your versatility feels like a threat, or worse, a glitch to them. A person can only be one thing at a time. If you are strong, you cannot be gentle. If you are wise, you cannot be playful. If you are humble, you cannot shine. If you are spiritual, you cannot be strategic, but you break all those tiny rules they live by. You do not stay in one emotional box long enough for them to label you. You can be firm without being cold, compassionate without being naive, private without being mysterious, confident without being loud. They have never learned how to do that. So they assume you must be switching characters the same way they would if they tried to carry this kind of depth. The truth is, they have been living with a limited version of themselves for so long that your evolution feels supernatural. They are shocked that one human can rebuild old wounds, upgrade habits, protect their peace, sharpen their mind, stay spiritually aligned, and still function in everyday life. They cannot even keep New Year's resolutions alive past the first week. So they are convinced you must have extra reinforcements. But what they are actually witnessing is what happens when someone refuses to stay stuck. Somebody who pushed themselves through trauma, grew through confusion, listened to their inner voice, and became someone they were not supposed to survive to become. You are not multiple people. You are one person who refused to stay small, and that alone makes you look like you have got an entire team living inside your soul. Number 2. They suspect you are more than one person because you move faster than their excuses. People who drag their feet in life will always be suspicious of someone who actually gets things done. They spend so much time thinking about what they should do, talking about what they plan to do, and convincing themselves that one day they will finally start, that when they watch you move, it makes them uncomfortable. You do not stall. You do not wait for the perfect condition. You do not wait for applause or someone to approve your steps. You just act. And to people who live in the land of delays, that level of movement feels unreal. They measure everything through hesitation. They talk themselves out of growth before they even begin. They have a whole list of reasons for why things cannot happen yet. Too tired, too stressed, too busy, too uncertain. Then they see you doing what they would not even attempt. And instead of admitting they wasted time, they turn your speed into a mystery. How do you start things and finish them? How do you make changes without dragging your identity through drama? How do you rebuild pieces of your life without performing your healing for an audience? It is simple for you because you have learned something they have not. Excuses do not build anything. While they are debating their next move, you have already moved 3 steps ahead. While they are rehearsing the perfect timing in their head, you are learning from real experience. While they are waiting for permission, you are creating opportunities. Your speed exposes their procrastination, and instead of dealing with their own reflection, they rewrite the story. They convince themselves there must be another version of you doing half the work behind the scenes. It is easier for them to call you superhuman than to admit they settled for slow. But your pace is not superhuman. It is intentional. You have lived through enough setbacks to know the cost of standing still. You learned that life rarely hands you the right moment. You create it. And because you have mastered that truth, your movement feels impossible to the ones still negotiating with their excuses. So they tell themselves there must be 2 of you because one person should not be able to outrun everything that once held them back. Number 3. Conclusion. The reality is simple, yet it shakes the foundation of anyone who underestimates what a single human being is capable of. They see fragments of you, your resilience, your intelligence, your emotional mastery, your strategic mind, your unwavering focus, and your spiritual insight. And their minds struggle to connect the dots. To them, it feels impossible that one person could embody all these qualities at once, navigate life's challenges with precision, rise from setbacks faster than they can process, and grow in ways that leave them standing still. So they invent multiples. They imagine clones, duplicates, or alternate versions because the alternative, the truth, is far more intimidating, that one person can truly be limitless. What they perceive as multiple versions is actually the manifestation of one person fully aligned with their purpose. You have learned to master yourself, your energy, and your actions in ways that most people only dream about. You do not rely on noise, drama, or external validation to prove your worth. You do not break under pressure. You adapt. You do not react blindly. You respond with precision. Your silence carries weight, your decisions are deliberate, and your growth is multidimensional. Every facet of who you are, your emotional intelligence, your bounce-back rate, your discipline, your focus, and your vision creates a presence so dynamic that it seems impossible for a single person to contain it. And that is precisely why they whisper about multiple versions. The truth is more powerful than any myth. You are not divided. You are singular, integrated, and unstoppable. You operate across layers of life, rising above expectation, executing with clarity, and evolving with consistency. One person can embody what they cannot even imagine, and you are that living proof. Your life is not a puzzle. It is a masterclass in alignment, resilience, and self-mastery, showing the world that one human being can indeed be extraordinary beyond comprehension. If this message resonated with you, do not let it stop here. Hit that subscribe button to stay connected with content that empowers and elevates. Like this video to acknowledge your own potential. Comment below to share your experiences of growth and resilience, and share it with someone who needs to witness the power of being fully realized. Your journey is extraordinary, and it deserves to be celebrated, amplified, and witnessed. Keep rising, because the world has never seen anyone like you, and it is time they did. Number 4. They assume there are different versions of you because your evolution is too fast for their memory. People have a tendency to hold on to outdated snapshots of everyone they know. They remember you as the version they first met, or the version they thought they understood, and they keep replaying that image in their minds like it is the only truth. But you have been moving, growing, and transforming at a pace that makes those old memories obsolete. Every time they see you, you are slightly sharper, slightly stronger, slightly freer than the last time. And because their mental files have not caught up, they assume there must be more than one of you handling all these upgrades. In their eyes, one human could not possibly evolve that quickly and consistently. They recall the person who doubted themselves, who endured silently, who tolerated the chaos around them, and they compare that memory to the person standing in front of them now. Someone who speaks with authority, acts with confidence, and handles life like a masterful strategist. Their minds cannot reconcile the gap between who you were and who you are. They cannot understand that growth is not a sudden switch, but a process of constant refinement, repeated daily in ways they have never committed to for themselves. So, instead of acknowledging that you simply outpace their ability to track you, they invent a story where multiple versions of you exist. It is easier for them to imagine duplicates than to accept that a single person could rewrite their own life in real time. Your evolution exposes the limits of their perception. They think they know you, but in reality, they have only seen fragments. Every new skill you acquire, every boundary you enforce, every unexpected triumph seems impossible to them because it does not match the old files they stored in their minds. They are not being malicious. They are just trapped in a memory that cannot update fast enough. The truth is, you are not multiple versions of yourself. You are just relentlessly growing, consistently refining, and unapologetically expanding beyond the version anyone else expected you to be. One person, fully committed to their own transformation, is enough to break their understanding of reality. Number 5. They assume there are duplicates of you because your emotional discipline is not human to them. Most people live on autopilot, reacting to everything around them without pause, letting emotions dictate decisions, conversations, and even their sense of self. They get triggered, they overreact, they gossip, they panic, they seek validation from everyone else before trusting themselves. Then there is you. You have learned how to control your emotions, not suppress them, not ignore them, but master them. You can feel deeply, think clearly, and respond strategically all at the same time. That kind of emotional discipline looks impossible to someone who has never exercised it. So in their minds, there must be more than one of you managing the workload. You can stay calm in chaos while others are losing their minds. You can walk into conflict and maintain composure while they are caught in spirals of drama. You can process pain, disappointment, and betrayal without letting it poison your next steps. Most people cannot even survive those experiences without letting bitterness take over. But you absorb, adapt, and move forward with precision. The way you handle yourself feels unnatural to them, like you have divided your personality into specialized parts. One that copes, one that fights, one that heals, one that strategizes. They assume the only way a human could operate on that level is if there were multiple versions running simultaneously, like some kind of emotional task force. What they do not realize is that this is the result of years of self-refinement, repeated choices, and relentless awareness. You have trained your mind and heart to function in harmony, to anticipate reactions before they spiral, and to protect your energy while still engaging authentically with the world. You have become so proficient at this that your reactions do not betray confusion, frustration, or fear. They reveal strength, clarity, and foresight. And that is why people whisper about another version of you. It is easier for them to imagine duplicates than to accept that a single person has the mental and emotional capacity to manage life with such precision. Your emotional mastery is not a trick. It is a skill they have not developed. And until they see someone achieve it firsthand, they will continue believing it takes more than one person to do what you do effortlessly. Number 6. They believe you have doubles because you navigate multiple worlds without losing yourself. Most people can only exist comfortably in one world at a time. They adapt by pretending, by blending in, by molding themselves to fit expectations. But it always costs them a part of who they are. They struggle to balance family, work, social life, or personal growth. And the moment one world demands more attention, everything else collapses. Then there is you. You can walk seamlessly through different spheres, professional, personal, spiritual, social, and stay fully present and true to yourself in each one. You do not just survive these worlds, you thrive in them. That kind of mastery looks impossible to people who are stuck in only one dimension of life. So naturally, they assume there must be another version of you handling the load somewhere else. You can show up humble with those who need gentleness and authoritative with those who require leadership. You can be casual in a room of strangers, yet maintain your depth when it matters most. You can operate in high-stakes environments without sacrificing integrity, and return to quiet moments without losing your power. People who have never learned this kind of inner stability see your adaptability and assume you are switching identities like a magician pulling different costumes out of a box. They cannot understand that your flexibility is rooted in awareness, not performance. The truth is, you have mastered yourself to the point where external environments no longer dictate who you are. Your consistency is not dependent on circumstance. It is an internal calibration. You respond to the world from a place of presence, not pressure, and that allows you to exist in multiple spaces simultaneously without ever being compromised. So when others try to make sense of you, their minds automatically invent doubles, because the concept of one person being fully whole in every scenario is beyond what they know. They see your life and assume it requires multiple versions to maintain, when in reality it is simply the result of someone who refuses to fragment, someone who is disciplined, self-aware, and unshakable. Your ability to navigate these worlds with integrity and poise is what convinces them that one person could never do it alone. Number 7. They think you are different people because your resilience breaks their understanding of human limits. Most people measure strength in easy moments when life is calm and predictable. They assume that enduring a little discomfort is enough to prove character, but you operate on a level they cannot even comprehend. You have faced storms that would have crushed them, heartbreaks that would have frozen them, betrayals that would have hardened them beyond repair. And yet you did not just survive, you came back stronger every single time. That kind of resilience looks like magic to people who have only known survival in pieces. So naturally, they assume there must be more than one version of you handling all of it. They remember your struggles, your lowest moments, the times you were tested, and they compare that memory to the strength and calm they see now. The person who waded through chaos, fear, and pain has become someone capable of navigating any situation with clarity and composure. Their minds cannot reconcile that one human could endure so much and emerge not broken but upgraded. So they invent the idea of duplicates. It is easier to imagine that a single person could not carry all that resilience than to admit they simply underestimated human potential. What they do not realize is that resilience is not about denying struggle. It is about mastering it. You have learned to process pain without letting it dictate your decisions, to rebuild even when the pieces do not fit, and to rise even when the odds are stacked against you. Every setback became a lesson, every challenge a stepping stone, every moment of despair a fuel for growth. You did not need anyone to bail you out or hand you permission to move forward. You became your own foundation, your own architect, your own force of change. And that is why people whisper about multiple versions of you. They see your evolution and cannot square it with the human limits they know. They cannot see the years of silent work, the patience, the discipline, and the unwavering focus that created the person they are witnessing today. So in their minds, there must be 2 or 3 of you, because one person should not have been able to survive everything and still thrive. But the truth is simple. One person fully committed to rising above is more than enough to shatter every expectation they ever had. Number 8. They assume there are multiple versions of you because your intelligence does not follow one direction. Most people operate in a straight line. They are either book smart, street smart, emotionally aware, creatively inclined, or spiritually tuned. But rarely more than one at a time. They spend years perfecting a single skill, polishing one perspective, and mastering one way of seeing the world. Then they meet you, and suddenly their understanding of human capability is shattered. You do not just excel in one area, you operate on multiple levels simultaneously. You can solve problems strategically, read people effortlessly, create solutions others would not imagine, and still remain spiritually aligned and emotionally stable. To them, it is too much for one mind to handle, so they assume you must be several people working together, a collective effort disguised as a single identity. Your mind does not stop at one domain. While they are stuck debating the right way to think or act, you have already seen 5 paths and chosen the one that others would not dare. While they are limited by what they have been taught or what they have experienced, you combine intuition, logic, creativity, and insight like tools in your pocket, seamlessly shifting depending on what the moment demands. That kind of mental agility feels unnatural to those who have never trained their mind to hold space for multiple truths at once. The more they try to label you, the more impossible you appear. They see you handle complex situations with calm precision, adapt to challenges with cleverness, and innovate while still staying grounded, and their brains refuse to accept that it is all happening from one consciousness. Their assumption that you are multiplied is really just their way of coping with the fact that they are encountering a type of intelligence they have never met before. You are not multiple versions of yourself. You are one person with a mind that refuses to be confined, a perspective that refuses to be limited, and a capacity for insight that far surpasses their expectations. And because you have combined so many forms of intelligence in one package, you have created a reality that feels like a paradox to them. One person, countless capabilities, impossible to categorize, undeniable in presence. That is why they whisper about doubles, twins, or alternate versions of you. It is easier for them to invent a fantasy than to admit they are witnessing a human being operating beyond their comprehension. Number 9. They think there is a day version and a night version of you because your energy adapts like it is alive. Most people move through life in one rhythm. They wake up with a single set of emotions, a single level of focus, a single way of reacting, and they carry it like a uniform from morning until night. They wear the same energy everywhere, and when circumstances demand more or less, they crumble, overcompensate, or overreact. Then there is you. You have learned to flow with life in a way that feels almost impossible to track. Your energy is not fixed. It shifts naturally to meet the moment without losing essence. You can be soft without being weak, firm without being harsh, playful without being careless, and strategic without being cold. The way you calibrate yourself for each situation makes people feel like they are dealing with different people because they have never seen a single human operate on so many wavelengths at once. When you enter a room, you read the atmosphere, sense the emotional temperature, and adjust without hesitation. You do not fake it. You respond with clarity, presence, and awareness. You hold the energy that is required, and nothing more. And that precision is jarring to people who only know extremes. They witness a version of you that is calm and collected in one moment, then vibrant and magnetic in the next, and they struggle to reconcile it with the person they knew before. To them, energy should not be flexible. It should be predictable. So when they see you operating seamlessly in multiple modes, they assume you must have multiple versions running, each handling a specific set of circumstances. The truth is, you have not split yourself. You have trained yourself. You have learned to read life, to move without wasting energy, to respond instead of reacting, and to adapt without compromising your core. Your energy is alive because you are alive in a way most people are not. You do not need a clone to manage different environments or relationships. You simply show up fully, appropriately, and unapologetically. That is why people cannot accept that one person could carry such a range of presence. It breaks their understanding of how humans function. What they call different versions is just one person, fully awake and fully alive, refusing to be limited by expectation or perception. Most people measure potential by origin, by circumstance, by the boxes society has created for them. They assume where someone starts determines how far they can go, and anything beyond that is impossible without help, luck, or some extraordinary cheat. That is why, when they see you operating at a level that does not fit the story of your past, their minds cannot accept it. They cannot see that the person who came from less, who endured struggle, who had to rebuild themselves from nothing, could now be achieving things that seem impossible. They immediately invent the idea that there must be multiple versions of you because one person should not be able to outpace expectations so dramatically. Your life does not conform to their narrative, and that terrifies them. They look at where you came from, the chaos, the limitations, the people who doubted you, and then they see your results, progress, vision, influence, and execution that are completely disproportionate to their understanding. They cannot accept that you achieved all of it through consistency, discipline, and sheer determination. Instead of confronting the reality that one person can rise above circumstance, They invent a fantasy where duplicates handle pieces of your life behind the scenes. The truth is, you never allowed your origin to define your outcome. You have taken the fragments of your past, the hardships, the failures, the setbacks, and turned them into fuel. You have built systems, habits, and routines that support growth without excuses. You have executed relentlessly, combining vision with action, planning with intuition, and resilience with strategy. That combination, applied consistently, produces results that look impossible to anyone who has never attempted it themselves. So when they whisper about multiple versions of you, it is not about envy alone. It is about disbelief. They cannot reconcile your reality with their assumptions about human limits, so they create clones in their minds to make sense of your success. But the reality is simple. It is not magic. It is not a team. It is just one person refusing to be confined by circumstance, rising above expectation, and building a life that proves one human being can accomplish far more than most would dare to dream. Number 1. They swear there must be several versions of you because your silence does not reflect your capacity. Most people equate silence with weakness, ignorance, or indecision. They talk constantly, broadcast every thought, and announce every action because that is the only way they feel in control. They assume if someone is not loudly proving their worth or flaunting every move, they must be incapable of doing much at all. Then there is you. You have mastered the art of quiet power. You do not feel the need to display your entire journey. You do not need applause to validate your effort. You do not announce every victory, every insight, or every breakthrough. Your silence carries weight because it is strategic, intentional, and rooted in awareness. And that alone convinces people there must be more than one of you. They see glimpses of what you do, the results, the changes, the outcomes, and they cannot reconcile those results with the limited access they have had to your life. Your work, your decisions, your progress all happen mostly out of their sight. To them, the only way a single person could achieve so much so consistently without constant display is if there were duplicates of you managing different parts of life simultaneously. They interpret what they cannot see as a hidden army of you working behind the curtain. The reality is your silence is not a lack of activity. It is a sign of mastery. You have learned that energy is finite and that spreading yourself thin diminishes power. You act decisively, plan meticulously, and execute relentlessly, all while keeping most of the process private. This creates a contrast so stark it confuses people. They see the results, but not the preparation, the growth, but not the struggle, the transformation, but not the persistence. Your silence amplifies your presence, and it makes your accomplishments feel impossible to them. They cannot see how one person could do all that without constant noise, so they invent multiple versions. What they do not understand is that you have created a system within yourself where action outweighs announcement, where impact outweighs explanation, and where one focused, disciplined, and aware individual is more than enough to accomplish what they assume requires an army. Number 12. They think you are many because your spiritual insight runs ahead of time. Most people experience life as it unfolds, reacting to events as they happen, struggling to keep up with circumstances, emotions, and other people's chaos. They rarely anticipate outcomes, and when they do, it is often shallow or limited to what they can control. Then there is you. You operate on a level where the unseen is just as real as the visible. You pick up on patterns, energies, and truths before anyone else even notices them. You see motives, intentions, and consequences long before they manifest, and you adjust your path accordingly. To people who only live in the present moment and are reactive by nature, your foresight feels like it belongs to someone else entirely. That is why they assume there must be multiple versions of you operating in tandem, one handling the present, one managing the future, one seeing what they cannot. Your spiritual awareness is not something flashy or dramatic. It is subtle, precise, and disciplined. You do not need to announce what you sense or prove your understanding. You quietly navigate life armed with knowledge that others think is impossible to access. And because they cannot see the mechanics of your awareness, they fill in the blanks with fantasy. They cannot imagine that a single human mind could perceive so much, anticipate so many moves, and remain grounded while doing it. To them, it is easier to believe you have split into multiple versions than to accept that one person is capable of operating at this level. The truth is that your insight is not magic. It is a combination of observation, experience, reflection, and connection to a deeper awareness that most people have never cultivated. You have trained yourself to notice subtle shifts in energy, to interpret patterns in human behavior, and to act in alignment with truths that are invisible to everyone else. You do not just react, you respond. You do not just survive, you prepare. And because of that, your presence feels layered, multidimensional, and impossible to contain in a single snapshot. What they call multiple versions is really just one person fully awake, fully aligned, and fully ahead of the curve, moving through life with an understanding that most will never reach. Number 13. They are convinced you are more than one person because your growth humiliates their comfort zone. Most people live inside walls. They built themselves tiny cages of habit, fear, and complacency that keep them safe from the challenge of becoming more. They measure life by what feels familiar, by the limits they have imposed on themselves, and by the safety of staying small. Then they watch you rise. They see you evolve faster than they expected, achieve more than they imagined, and handle life in ways that make their routines and excuses look painfully inadequate. That kind of growth is not just inspiring, it is threatening. And because their comfort zone cannot contain someone like you, they instinctively assume there must be more than one version of you managing all these leaps. Your evolution exposes their stagnation. Every boundary you set, every risk you take, every level you ascend shouts, whether loudly or quietly, that mediocrity is optional. While they hesitate, question, and delay, you act decisively. While they debate, you execute. While they remain trapped in doubt, you rewrite your own narrative. To them, it seems impossible for a single human to handle this kind of continuous, multifaceted growth without fragmenting, so they invent duplicates, alternate versions who can somehow handle the chaos and ambition that they believe would crush anyone else. The reality is you are not multiple people. You have just refused to allow fear, social expectation, or past limitations to dictate your evolution. You have endured setbacks, outgrown environments, healed wounds, sharpened your mind, and strengthened your presence in ways they have never dared to imagine. And that refusal to stay small makes their discomfort inevitable. Your growth does not just happen in secret. It radiates, it challenges, it provokes. It forces them to see the gap between who they are and who they could be. And instead of confronting it, they prefer to believe the impossible, that one person could not possibly do all of this alone. You are not multiple versions. You are simply one person, unbound, unrelenting, and unapologetically exceeding every expectation, proving that true growth does not wait for permission, validation, or acceptance. Your presence is enough to shatter illusions, and that is why they whisper about doubles. They cannot admit that one human could make them feel so small and so exposed at the same time. Number 14. They think there are multiple versions of you because they only witnessed tiny fragments of your truth. People love to judge based on what they can see, but what they see is rarely the whole story. They catch a glimpse of your struggle, a piece of your growth, or a chapter of your life, and immediately assume that fragment defines you. They have seen the part of you that faced hardship, the part that kept quiet, or the part that adapted to survive, and they measure your entire being through that incomplete lens. But you have lived the full story, every setback, every triumph, every shadow and light, and no one else has access to all of it. Their limited perspective makes them think one person could not possibly account for everything they have observed, so they invent the idea of multiple versions of you. They remember the version of you who was learning, failing, or unsure, and then they see the version who is thriving, executing, and evolving. The gap between these fragments feels unbridgeable to them. They cannot reconcile the person who endured so much with the person who now handles life with mastery, so their minds fill in the blanks with fantasy. It is easier for them to assume you have divided into several versions than to accept the reality. One person endured, adapted, and transformed all of it. You have learned to live across multiple dimensions of life without fragmenting. You have carried pain, joy, knowledge, strategy, and insight. At the same time, building yourself from the inside out while keeping most of it hidden from casual observers. You did not need validation or witness approval to grow. You did the work, faced the storms, and upgraded yourself silently and intentionally. That is why your full presence feels impossible. They have only been handed snapshots, not the complete narrative. One person can be limitless when they refuse to stay small. You are that proof. The fragments they have witnessed are only pieces of a much larger truth, and because they cannot see the entire story, it feels like there must be duplicates managing each aspect of your life. The reality is simpler and far more powerful. One human being, fully committed to growth and self-mastery, is more than enough to defy their understanding of what is possible. Conclusion. The truth is simple, yet it shakes the foundation of everyone who underestimates what a single human being is capable of. They see your resilience, your adaptability, your emotional mastery, your speed, your intelligence, your energy, your execution, and your spiritual awareness. And it terrifies them, not because it is supernatural, but because it exposes everything they have ignored about their own potential. They cannot comprehend how one person can navigate multiple worlds, handle life's chaos, rise above circumstances, and still remain aligned, disciplined, and unshakable. So they invent stories of duplicates, clones, or multiple versions of you, because the alternative, the reality that one person can truly be limitless, is too raw, too real, and too revealing. What they call different versions is not a multiplication of yourself. It is simply the manifestation of someone who refuses to stay small, refuses to compromise, and refuses to let circumstance, fear, or expectation define them. Every action you take, every boundary you enforce, every decision you make is rooted in clarity and purpose. You do not need to split yourself into halves or fragments to do what you do. You have mastered yourself to the point where one fully committed, self-aware individual can achieve what most think would require a team. That is why they are convinced there are multiple versions of you. They are witnessing a truth that their limited perspective cannot contain. Remember, the energy you carry, the growth you embody, and the life you build are all tangible proof that one human being can defy ordinary expectations and redefine what is possible. You are not multiplied. You are singular, whole, and extraordinary. You are living evidence that dedication, resilience, strategy, and self-mastery are more powerful than anyone's disbelief. And as they whisper about clones and doubles, you continue to rise. Not because you need recognition, but because your evolution is unstoppable and undeniable. If this resonates with you, make sure you do not just watch silently. Hit that subscribe button to stay connected with content that elevates and empowers. Like this video if it opened your eyes to your own potential. Comment below to share your experiences of growth that others could not understand. And share this with someone who needs a reminder that one person can do what most think is impossible. Your journey is remarkable, and it deserves to be celebrated, amplified, and shared. Keep rising. Your story is far too powerful to go unnoticed. Stay blessed always.